This is Duke University.
In every wave of terrorism, a different ideology gets associated with violence, political violence, right? It's not, and right now it's Islamic terrorism because that's what the geopolitical structure is, right? So yes, right now you see a lot of that. But if this were the 70s or the 60s, no one would argue that terrorism is somehow central to Islamic thought or whatever, right? It would be left-wing thought or right-wing thought or communism or something else. It's changed consistently in the past 40 years or so. And should we ever actually fix anything in the Middle East, right, or anyone fix anything in the Middle East, there would probably should something else. I mean, terrorism is not going to go away. It's going to be easier as time goes on, as technology improves.
I think it would be unfair to argue that Lebanon, Jordan, and Turkey are not doing way more than their fair share, right? That this has been, over the past several years, an issue centered there. I think these are states that now at more than 50% refugee, right, simply cannot manage. I think that's a number that's unfathomable in the context of the United States, right? All of Canada could come on down and we wouldn't be 50% Canadian.
The thing I've been studying and looking at is really to advocate for building of more trusting relationships between Muslim Americans and, of course, other Americans who's are vulnerable to recruitment to different forms of extremism, like racist extremism or anti-government extremism. I believe these programs should be applied across the board. But efforts to build trust with law enforcement by working on issues of concern to communities, treating communities, Muslim American communities like all other citizens, providing their public safety needs, building relationships, outreach, police, attending events at mosque and having open houses and things of that nature.
It is extraordinarily difficult, and I would say futile, to actually make the kinds of generalizations about looking at Islamic State and saying that this has been the model of Islamic government that has been for 1400 years. I took 7 years of my life, read through 70,000 pages of primary sources to write a book, one book, on one Muslim dynasty and the change in their political philosophy. And they actually underwent an extraordinary shift in a matter of less than 20 years. That's one dynasty in one part of the Islamic world over 20 years, which goes from a model of caliphate to a coexistence of caliphate and kings to a pure model of secular kingship. It took me 7 years and 70,000 pages of primary sources to get a handle on that 20-year time period in one Muslim dynasty called the Seljuks. Imagine the level of nuance that would be necessary to speak about 1400 years.
Produced by Duke University.